I mean, the reality is that's how the world works, right? Like, it's not what's just happening to you. Everybody thinks that life is happening to them, but in reality, the factual truth is you're creating your reality, right? You're manifesting, you're creating it on a minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, week to week basis. So what you predominantly think about, you bring about, right? Napoleon Hill talked about it in Think and Grow Rich, and he wrote that book, I think, decades ago, right? And he interviewed all of the top people in the world, Henry Ford, I think Rockefeller, Edison, all these guys, and they all said the same thing. You know, that they manifested what it was that they wanted in their life, and they didn't allow life to happen to them. And I'm a big believer in that. Everything that I have in my life today, I've manifested, everything. There's not one thing in my life, good or bad. You can't just say, you can't take the good without the bad. So good or bad, everything that I've had go through my life, I've manifested in some way, right? And everything that I think about, because that's all I think about, I eventually bring about, like everything. Because I don't allow myself to get distracted with things that I don't want in my life. You know, like everything that I have in my life, including the company I have, the friends I have, the wife I have, everything is manifested. Like down to the detail, like from the city where my wife is from, the company that I have, the products that we sell, all of that stuff was by design. It wasn't just, it wasn't an accident. It wasn't any of that stuff, right? So what people have to understand is if they're in a situation in their life that they don't really love, that they're there because they have bended the physical universe and demanded what it was that they wanted. Like, and you do have to demand it. Like the physical universe does know when you're serious about something and when you're not. So sometimes in life, I'm chasing something, and I don't get it. And what happens is people get discouraged right at that moment, right? But that's the moment that the physical universe says, okay, I'm gonna give it to you, but only when I know that you're never gonna give up in wanting it, if that makes sense. So usually people give up like right at that moment, right? It's like, but I've been working hard and I've been chasing it, I've done everything. And then you don't get what you want, and then you give up. Then you got the other cat that's like, dude, I'm not gonna give up. Like, I'm gonna keep chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing. And eventually the physical universe says, okay, fine, here you go. And that's the simplicity of it. That's the simplicity of it. It's like make or break, you know? But I think people have to understand that is what's happening. And the things that are in your life, good or bad today, you've put there to some degree. So you just have to make better decisions and better choices and better, you know, what are you thinking about all day long? Like if somebody's thinking about all day long about scarcity and not having and all that kind of stuff, well then dude, what do you think you're gonna get, right? If you train your mind, it's like a muscle. If you train your mind to think with, you know, abundance, that there's enough of everything out there. There's enough money for you. There's enough money for your friends. There's enough money for your family. There's enough money for people you don't even like. But there's enough of it to go around and there's no scarcity. Well, doesn't that change everything? Don't you start looking at things differently, right? You start to see opportunities in things as opposed to the adversity of everything. Instead of seeing problems, you see magic, right? Or you see ideas, new ideas, things that could be, you see a future. There's no future in sitting around and thinking that everything is scarce. Like there's no future there. So the only way that you're gonna manifest the things that you want is you gotta think with abundance and that there's a future there, that it can be what it is that you want it to be, as opposed to the cards that life's just like dealing you. Like I was thinking about this yesterday, like I was in my Rolls Royce and I was driving and there's this guy and he had this old car, but you know, it was so old that the window didn't go down. So he opened the door and he's looking as I'm pulling up next to him. And he's just like, man, that's my dream car. And he's like, man, I want to cook you eggs. And I'm like, where did that come from? I'm like, what do you mean you want to cook me eggs? He's like, bro, I'm the chef, I'm the head cook at the Waffle House on Ulmerton Road. You know, like swing by, dude. I want to cook you eggs on the house. And I was just like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? But as we drove away, I told Viviana, I said, you know, that could have been me. And she's like, no, that never would have been you. I said, no, not that could have been me, that I would be, you know, making eggs at the Waffle House, right? But that could have been me in the sense that I could have given up on a dream of what I wanted life to be, right? There were many points in my life that I could have just said, you know, maybe it's not meant for me. You know, all of those dreams that I've had as a kid about reaching a level of success and all the things that I wanted, maybe that wasn't for me. Maybe the cards weren't dealt for me. Maybe I'll try again, you know? But that could have been me. And then I thought about how far I've come from having nothing, you know, 10 years ago, from literally starting over again. I had no company, really. I had one employee. I had no money. I had no team, right? I had no name. I didn't have anything. So everything that you see today, I've had to create it from the time when I didn't have anything. So again, it goes down to that thing where it's like, it's really up to you. It's really up to you. It's a decision you make or not.